If you struggle with painful or impossible sex, or maybe tampons or a gynecologist are a struggle, I want you to know you're not broken and you're certainly not alone. This is a huge part of my story, but I've also helped hundreds of women get through this and get past this, and it is possible to heal. But I want to say, I'm so sorry that this has been your experience. Our bodies are beautiful and they are designed to be able to accept things in, but that is not the case for everyone. And I'm so sorry. But we want to be able to lean into our bodies, support it well so that we can accept him in or have confidence at the gynecologist or be able to just go to the pool without having to think about, is my period going to start today? We want to have that kind of control and understanding and support of our pelvic floor and our vaginas so that we can function well. And so for me personally, I experienced vaginismus for 8 years, long time. I didn't really realize this was a big deal until my wedding night. I probably could have guessed because although I could sometimes get a tampon in, I didn't love it. And the gynecologist was almost always miserable. On our wedding night, sex did not go the way I thought it would be. Um, yeah, we struggled. It was painful, barely got him in. And then we're like, okay, well, maybe it's always supposed to hurt the first time, right? That's what everyone says, which is not true. It should not hurt ever. But I thought, let's just keep pushing. Let's just keep going. And so as the honeymoon progressed, the pain got worse and he got less able to get in. So we actually called my gynecologist from the honeymoon. It was like, excuse me, what's going on here? Why is this not working? And, she was just kind of like, no, you need to relax, drink some wine, use lube, you'll be fine. We were not fine. We struggled for the next 4 years. Sex was very painful. We just stopped attempting to have penetrative sex because it usually left us in tears. And so we try other things, but then I always just kind of felt like this was a consolation prize sex, like a second class wife. Like I couldn't do this major act that, a lot of people could do naturally. Kind of felt like I was completely broken, like something was wrong with me. I questioned why God would let me get married if I was broken in this way. I remember questioning whether I was asexual. I even looked up what a eunuch was in the Bible to see maybe that's what I was. Nobody I talked to had experienced this. Everyone just said, no, sex is fine for me. You should go see a doctor. But every time we went to a doctor, they just kind of said, no, you look fine. I was left feeling just helpless until I finally did have a doctor who kind of mumbled the word vaginismus, which I was like, wait, a diagnosis. Fix me. So then I started the long journey of pelvic floor therapy, where I went consistently. I did dilators, struggled through those, but was able to get to the largest dilator actually several times before I would spiral because I couldn't transition to my husband. And that's extremely exhausting when you've done all your exercises, all your stretches, you've done your dilators, you've put in the hard work. And yes, maybe you had days where you just really didn't feel motivated, but you still showed up and did it. And then yet it doesn't transfer. And what made this extra frustrating for me was I'm an occupational therapist. And so I know all about the pelvic floor. I know all of this stuff, but why was this not working? So then my pelvic floor therapist was like, well, this is all we can do for you. Must be in your head. So then I started seeing a mental health counselor. They didn't really know what vaginismus was or have much to offer me. And so then I went and saw a sex therapist. Sex therapist was extremely discouraging. They suggested that we should watch porn together so that we can learn how to do this, which was completely against our morals. They also said that maybe I just wasn't attracted to my husband and maybe we weren't sexually compatible, which is not even true at all. And maybe I didn't have much of a sex drive at that point, but I knew that sexual compatibility wasn't just something that happened. It was something we leaned into. And so we also saw a couples counselor, which the couples counselor blamed my husband for my condition, which my husband has always been incredibly, incredibly sweet. He never forced anything or pushed anything, and he always made safe space for me to be able to say no. And it was usually me that was the one trying to continue to push and force and make it work because I just wanted to be able to do it. He's been awesome. So we knew it wasn't his fault, but that really did discourage both of us. And so I also saw specialists. We did creams. I was on medications. Nothing seemed to work. It still was incredibly frustrating and painful. And I just felt beyond exhausted. I was depressed. I was down on myself. I felt like I was a failure as a wife. At this point, it had been 8 years of us being married without being able to have enjoyable penetrative sex, which obviously impacted other intimacy with us. We just got to the point where we weren't intimate really ever at all. And the thought of children just sent me spiraling. So we decided, I don't want kids. I don't want to deal with that because it's not going to be a reality for us. Thankfully, at the time, I was working as an occupational therapist with patients with chronic pain, and I was using a nervous system based approach to help manage chronic pain symptoms. And then when we took a step back and realized something has to change in our marriage for us to be able to continue to function and thrive in our marriage and intimacy, we realized that maybe vaginismus and this chronic pain with sex wasn't just a vagina pelvic floor issue. And it also wasn't all in my head. Maybe it's kind of in that space in between. And I need to show up for myself the way that I've shown up for my patients and what I've encouraged them. So we created kind of that holistic approach that leaned into the nervous system, but also targeted different aspects of intimacy within our marriage. And within about 4 months, we were able to transition to pain free sex, which was shocking for both of us. And it's been 8 years. And so we thought, okay, this is a fluke. This isn't real. But it has been 5 years, over 5 years, and I no longer have pain. I don't use dilators anymore. I have fun. I have a sex drive. I initiate now. There was a point where I had said, like, I could go the rest of my life without sex and be totally happy because it was that exhausting. My husband, again, was great, but for me, so much turmoil was there. And so to think that I'd ever thought that now breaks my heart. Like intimacy and sex is so worth it. And being able to have a body that I understand is so worth it. And so now I'm excited because I get to help women around the world be able to get past this and enjoy intimacy the beautiful way it was designed to be. That's my heart and my hope for you as well. Now, through this, we have created a program which we call the Mind Body Sex Reset. This program has helped hundreds of women be able to get past vaginismus and painful sex, to have a body that works the way they want it to. It's a pretty awesome program. If I do say so myself, a lot of love has gone into this, and it's a really sweet space for healing. So, what does this program look like? Well, it is an online program and is done from the comfort of your home, and it's self-paced. And so there's a natural progression that happens to it, but we do it at a time and a pace that works for you. You get up to 6 months in the program, but on average, it takes about 12 to 16 weeks to get through this. I've had some women in 10 days be able to get past vaginismus, which is awesome. And then others, it can take more 6 months. And that's also awesome because I want to do what your body needs to heal in your time frame. So in this program, we will go over the vaginal training and the desensitization. So these are, yes, dilators. I'm sure you've seen them, no way around them. I do use a different approach to dilators though, and that is how we make sure that we transition away from a dilator and to your goal, whether that's your partner, the gynecologist, tampons, whatever. I don't want you using dilators any more than you have to. And my whole goal is for you to be able to throw these things in the trash can as soon as possible. And so the strategy that we use is designed to help you take that involuntary contraction and pain response that happens when things come in, and to get control over that and to get your body at a deep level to be able to relax and accept things in. So we don't use these. We can use normal everyday things that we want to use. I also give you access to a pelvic health hub, which is a library of over 20 different pelvic floor exercises and releases. These are designed to help you, yes, get that release of the tension, but also to get the relaxation happening. We also have in this library hacks like things that you can do to help support your jaw, to release your pelvic floor. There's also a whole troubleshooting series for what to do when you're stuck, if things aren't going in or if they're burning. So this is a really awesome tool to be able to kind of get your pelvic floor supported even more. But we know that vaginismus isn't just about the pelvic floor. So we're also going to talk about cognitive retraining. We're going to help kind of target those subconscious and unconscious and thoughts, beliefs, shame, guilt, expectations, body shame issues, whatever's there under the surface. We want to try and heal through and walk through. And so we're going to target some of that mindset stuff and the cognitive reframing that we need to do. And then we're also going to target the nervous system, which is my favorite part of this program. I often find that vaginismus is a huge expression of a greater nervous system dysregulation. And so we're going to help target your nervous system better. We're going to target both that stress cortisol system and that relaxation system so that those work together better, so that you have a body that functions the way you need to, both in the bedroom and out of the bedroom. I give you over 40 different strategies that you can use and implement in your everyday functioning to learn what works best for you personally, so that when you get to the bedroom, your body has the right tools and strategies in place and it shows up for you and you can support it well. So that the nervous system piece is huge, and we have a whole neural toolbox that will help support you better. We also do strategic partner integration for those who have partners and who want to work together in this. This is a key element for making sure we get away from the dilator and transition to him. And so we want him to be a part of this. We do this very methodically and very strategically so that that is successful. And this is one of the key components that makes this program successful at transitioning away from dilators. This program is also biblically based. There is a devotional aspect to this. It's optional, and we do have a secular program for those who don't want access to the faith-based program. But with this, we have devotionals that are designed to kind of help break down some of the purity culture teachings that we may have been exposed to over the years and to replace that with a healthy biblical truth. But we also have a bunch of resources to help you to be able to lament and lean into the Lord even more on our healing journey. And then we do have a 200-page multi-sensory workbook journal experience that takes the content from the program and integrates it into your life. It's a really awesome tool to help you kind of dig deep in your own layers so that you can really flourish in your healing and implement stuff from this program well. And then we do have support options. We have 2 weekly group coaching calls, and these are just places for all of the amazing, incredible women in this program to get together and have a time of encouragement and support and to ask questions. We will troubleshoot and work through things. We also just offer encouragement and support and love to one another so that you can be reminded that you're not alone in this journey and we're all healing and we're getting past this. With this, we do have an online community hub that has discussion boards and comments and ways for you to interact and encourage one another. And that is a really, really sweet space to kind of lean deeper into a community that has really awesome things to offer. We also know that everyone in this community is in this course. So it's private, and anything that's in this community is going to be research backed and support by the course. You're not going to be given advice that is not supported by what we kind of teach and train you guys in. And then we know that your partner is important. And so for those who do have partners, we have partner support throughout this. We have a mini course that your partner will have access to that will help him understand more about what you're experiencing so that you can flourish and heal and he can be a part of that journey, because that's really important. And my husband also does lead monthly partner support calls. These happen once a month and they're also recorded. And it's a place for him to be able to lean into other guys who are also on this journey of healing with their wives. And then we do have more options for more one-on-one support if you need it. So I would just encourage you in the next steps to book a consultation call. These are free. They're awesome. It's about 30 to 45 minutes of us to be able to connect and share, and just for you to hear that you're not alone in this and you're not broken. So go ahead and book a free consultation call. I'll explain more about the investment and the pricing options, because there's a lot of different options and tiers available for pricing. So it's much easier for us to kind of talk about that one-on-one. But I promise it's a sweet space for having support and encouragement. So go ahead and give it a shot. Let's chat. I would love to meet you and just talk more about how we can get you past this, enjoying intimacy and a body the way that it truly was designed to be, because you, my friend, are so worthy of healing.